Dedicated speaking practice every day will make you habitual of speaking out everything that you're learning. And once you become comfortable, you will not realize that you are using those elements in the correct way whenever you're speaking. So they will become habitual to you, natural to you. And when things become natural, you become fluent. Hi everybody, how are you all? Hope you're doing great. So welcome back to another session of learning English with me. Well, today I'm going to address something that is on the mind of every English learner. I'm sure you must have also thought about this. How long does it take to become fluent in English? What is the time period that is required to become fluent? The time period to get to the end goal of fluency. What is that time period? I'm sure this thought must have struck your mind sometime. And this is something that is always there on the mind of English learners. When will they become fluent? How long will it take for them to become fluent in English? So how long does it take to become fluent in English? Well, my answer to this particular question, the million-dollar question is, it depends. It depends on lots and lots of factors which I am going to discuss in details in this particular video. So I suggest stay tuned. I'm Shivangi Gupta, your English language tutor certified by the University of Cambridge, the UK. And you're watching Speak English with Shivangi. Please like the video and subscribe the channel because you get one English video lesson each and every day on this channel. Okay, now, so coming back to today's session, that is how long does it take to become fluent in English? Okay, so what is actually fluency? The definition of fluency might differ from person to person, depending on their requirement of English or the level of English that they are at. So if somebody is at the beginner's level, for that person, fluency is something else, it's way too far. Somebody who's at intermediate level, for that person, fluency may be within reach. For somebody who's at a beginner's level, their definition of fluency might be just an intermediate level of English where they can talk fluently in English. In social events, they can use English. In social settings, social use of English is more important. For somebody else, more professional, polished, perfect, elegant usage of English is the definition of fluent English. For somebody, understanding each and everything that they listen in English, trying to understand different accents, to be able to understand everything that they read in English must be the definition of fluency. So it depends on what is your definition of fluency. What is your end goal? At what level do you want to reach? On an average, roughly, if I tell you, according to the research that has been made and according to various surveys that have been conducted, I can tell you that roughly, if somebody is just starting their English learning journey and they want to cover the beginner's level of English, to be able to understand English and to be able to speak the basic English, how much time will it take? So basically, according to the researches that have been made, it takes around 150 to 200 hours, somewhere between 150 to 200 hours, depending on the level of dedication a person is showing and the level of commitment the person has towards learning and speaking English. Now again, if a person is at the beginner's level and then they want to reach the intermediate level, it will take roughly 200 hours, like between 200 to 250 hours. And then again, to reach the advanced level, the ultimate level of fluency, where you can listen to everything in English and understand it perfectly, where you can read everything in English and understand it, where you can use idioms, phrases, and you can speak English fluently for hours and hours. That is the advanced level, like C2 level, the ultimate level of English. It takes another 250 hours. About 250 hours to reach that level. Now this is according to the research, and if you add up all these hours, you will have roughly around 750 to 800 hours of dedication from the starting point to reach the advanced C2 level, like from Zero level, A1, A2, B1, B2, C1, and then C2 level. That is the thing. But is it something that is rigid? No. Again, this is not something that is rigid. It can be flexible. Sometimes people might take more time to become fluent. Sometimes a person can even achieve it in a bit less amount of time, depending on the level they are at, depending on the dedication that they are showing, and depending on the frequency of time they are giving to their learning. Now, the thing is that how long does it take, again, to become fluent in English? It totally depends on you. It totally depends on the person who is learning English. If you want to really speak fluent English, you need to analyze. Step number 1 is to analyze at what level you are. For that, you already know, I have made a video for you how to check your level, English level. So you should watch that video and then check your English level. What is your English level? It's really helpful when you know at what level you are in English. If you have determined that, okay, this much English I know, this is the next thing that I need to cover. This much is the one I need to cover. That's what I need to cover next. It's really easy for you to target your learning in a certain direction and achieve your goals faster and also with quality. You'll get quality results. Okay, first of all, analyze at what level you are. Okay, analyzing it is very important. Now, what is the next step? Next step is dedication. You have to dedicate some time to English. If you want to achieve fluency in just 6 months, that's the least I'm giving you. It will at least take 6 months. Anything less than that is just a bait. You know, a bait that we give to fish in order to catch some fish. That is what it is. It's fake. You need at least 6 months to reach fluency. So if you are at a level where you're at an intermediate level, where you want improvement in your English, it will take 6 months. And within that 6 months of time frame, you'll be able to use English comfortably within a social setting, basically. The social use of English. If you're looking towards more professional and academic use, then I would say dedicatedly given 1 year of your time will make you fluent in English. 1 to 1.5 years is what I consider roughly it will take if you're at an intermediate level. If you're starting from the beginning, add 3 to 4 months again into this particular time period. So you get an idea. 6 months is the time period when you need to give dedicatedly to your English learning and English speaking. Do not stop in between and analyze, have I gotten fluent? No. What you need to analyze is, pay attention, it's very important. How much progress have you made? That's very important. The kind of progress that you are making. So analyze the progress that you are making from time to time. And then keep on working towards the other areas that need attention. That you think that this is what I need to learn next in English. I don't know this. This is the area where I am not good. So this particular area requires more attention. Plan whatever you need to learn. At least for a week, plan it. Now the next thing is, how much time are you giving in a day to become fluent in English? That is the next step, that every day, studying every day is important. There is no other option. There is no substitute to studying every day. You need to learn and improve. Try to learn and improve. That is what you need to do. Set time aside, set a particular time aside for learning English every day. If you are dedicating time every day, you are surely gonna see some results at the end of those 6 months. Or maybe 7 months, 8 months. So at least give half an hour every day to your English learning if you're really serious about becoming fluent in English. If you really want to speak fluent English. This is something that you seriously need to do. If this is that particular thing that is really important in your life, in your career right now, please pay attention to it. Give at least half an hour. That's what you can do. And half an hour, it's not so much. If you give every day half an hour, at the end of a month, at least you are giving 15 hours of your dedicated attention towards learning and improving English. And that's a lot, isn't it? And the last thing I would say is, the last step is speaking practice. Your speaking practice must always go on side by side. That is important. Now, what to practice in the speaking practice? Whatever you're learning, whatever improvements you're making, apply those learning, those improvements during your speaking practice so that you know practically whatever you're learning. You're practicing it because at the end, your goal is to become fluent in English. That is to speak English with a flow. We are learning English, we're learning a language. Why? Because we need to communicate. And how do we communicate? By speaking it. That's why we are learning this language. So doing your speaking practice side by side continuously is very important, because if you're not doing it, then again you'll have the same problems. You will not know what to speak, what to say. You might gain so much vocabulary, you have learned phrases, but you're not speaking them. Then you're not habitual of speaking them out loud whenever you are engaged in a conversation with somebody. So to be able to speak everything that you're learning, speaking practice is important, and try to use all the elements that you're learning during your speaking practice. That's very important. So dedicated speaking practice every day will make you habitual of speaking out everything that you're learning. And once you become comfortable, you will not realize that you are using those elements in the correct way whenever you're speaking. So they will become habitual to you, natural to you. And when things become natural, you become fluent. So according to me, it depends on your level, at what level you are. And it also depends on your dedication, how much dedicated you are towards learning English. So if you're dedicated, I'm sure that 5 to 6 months of time will give you great results. And then look for betterment, look for improvement. Fluency, the end goal, is a very vast goal. Try to analyze what level of fluency you want and then achieve it. It is achievable. So I hope that this particular session answers your question. It gives you a particular answer and a direction in which you need to work in order to become fluent in English. Now I'm gonna see you next time with a new lesson. Till then, take care and bye.